What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and Merry freaking Christmas. Today is December 25th, 2022. I ordered something on Amazon, and I wanted to make a video of it because it is a newer version of what I have been using for a long time now. So I ordered it because I wanted to make a video. I've been making videos on Anker batteries for literally a decade now, and they get a lot of views when I post them. So that's why I continue making them in the year 2022, almost 2023. And this video is no different. This is the Anker PowerCore Slim PD 10,000K. So this is the A1245. Now, I did a video of the PowerCore Slim 10,000 PD a couple years back. Maybe, I think 3 years ago. I don't know. Okay, so it was actually 3 years ago. But I did a video of this battery. I'm making a new video of this battery because the old one was 18 watts. This one is 20 watts. They upgrade the output. And this is definitely one of my more successful videos of this power bank. So that's kind of a long, that is, I don't know why. Let's open it up and find out. But again, that's the A1245. I actually don't have my Slim anymore. I don't know where it went to. The only Slim I currently still have is the wireless one that has a little wireless charging pad on top of it. I have given away a lot of battery banks over the years to people that need a battery or their phone's dead or something because I do have a lot of them. But I also keep most of them because videos, comparisons, and stuff like that. So here it is. What I love about this is it's so small, it's so light, you don't even really know you're carrying it on you. And my gosh, is that such a premium look and feel to it. It's got like a texture that on video might be hard to show you, but it's got like a little texture. And it's very nice. There's all the information on the bottom of it if you want to pause that and read it for yourself. So it looks like it can do 9 volts at 2.2 amps. For comparison, the 10K wireless can only do 9 volts at 2 amps, which is just 18 watts. All right, so inside the box, we get a little carrying case. We get a USB-A to USB-C. Oh, and you do get a USB-C to USB-C. How freaking nice is that? That is so cool. So if you want to keep this thing protected and not get, scratches and dings and damaged, look at that. You've got a nice little carrying case. If you go back and you watch my 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank on this is the old Slim, the PowerCore 210K. I've had these for like 5 years now, maybe almost 6 or right at 6. I've had these for a long time. So I don't keep them in bags. This is my most used and abused battery bank so far though, because this sucker goes with me everywhere. I got my name on it because I use it at work. If somebody picks it up, I want to be able to look at the back of it and see my name and know that they took my battery and I can prove that it's mine. But anyways, if I would have kept this in a little bag, look, you could still access those charging ports and keep your battery nice and good looking over the years, And also, you can tuck these cables in here and keep them for, there you go. Now you have both of your cables ready to go. A little bit of a lump there, but, that's pretty cool. I like that they included that. And there you have it. You got your nice little 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank with 20 watts of output, which is awesome. You've got your USB-A to C and your Type-C to Type-C. Now, why is that so important that you use the Type-C output of 20 watts? I want to demonstrate that for you. So we'll first connect the USB-A, and we have this little thing from Amazon that measures the output. So we'll plug that into the USB-A port, and we'll plug this into our Z Fold 4. It popped up for a brief second that it was fast charging, but then it went away. On Android, you have the nice convenience of using an app called Ampere from the Google Play Store. There's the name of it right there. And it'll tell you that it's going at almost 3,000. That's a very good speed for USB-A to USB-C. And on our meter here, we can see that we are using 9 volts at 1.6 amps, which is equivalent to 15 watts. That's actually very freaking good for USB-A to USB-C. That is awesome. But if you take the USB-C cable and you use that when you have that as an option, so we saw that it was almost 15 watts and that was almost 3,000. What do we get now when we use a USB-C to USB-C connection? And there we go. It kind of like changed everything around. Okay, so that's quite impressive. Doesn't appear that there's much of a difference going on. And we are currently at 9 volts and 1.6 amps, 15 watts. Now, you have Samsung to thank for that, because on our Pixel 7 Pro here, it should tell us a different story. I'm actually very impressed that USB-A to C on the Fold was the same speed. On here, we can see that, look at that. We are getting that full 20 watts of output right there. Wow. That's impressive. And there you can see it's at 3,700. Now, if I were to switch this over to the USB-A to USB-C, it is going to tell a much different story. So now we're only getting 5 volts at 1.4 amps, which is about 7.5 watts. And look at that speed, 1.2. That is like a third of what we were getting before almost. So this is all thanks to the fact that this uses power delivery, not Qualcomm Quick Charge, and the Samsung actually uses a different type of fast charging system called PPS. And this uses power delivery. So this charger can clearly talk to the Samsung with either the A to C or C to C, but with this, you'll definitely only want to use C to C. All right, so if you have a Galaxy device such as the Z Fold 4 here, what you're going to want to get is something that has PPS. So this is the Samsung official super fast charger. And after we plug it in, we see the little 2 lights there, and we can see that it's jumping up to 23 watts, and it's going at 4,850. So it's getting a very fast charge right now, 23.1 watts. There are a couple Anker battery banks that can do that, but they're typically much more expensive. So let's check this out. We have 2 ports on this thing. We have 2 of them. So let's do our USB-C. All right, so again, we're going at 38. So now we're going to plug in that USB-A port. Since we know that Samsung likes the USB-A port way more than Pixel does. And we'll see what we get with both ports active on these phones. So using that USB-A to C, now we can tell that this phone is going at about almost right at 1,800, and it shows 8 watts here. And this one is going at 200, and it's getting 11.2 watts. So that is very good. Since this is going at 8.2 and that's going at 11.2, we're literally using almost all 20 watts of output right now, which if you were to try to share that 18 watts of output on this guy, you've got less to share. Now you have 2 extra watts that you can share, and both of these things are charging at, pretty fair speeds, almost half and half. That is very impressive. All right, so say you're an iPhone user, and please also keep in mind that iPhone will have to use Type-C in the future. There are some countries where it's literally a law where you have to use Type-C now in new devices. Well, Anker has you covered. They have this little 1-foot USB-C to Lightning. I even have a black one here, and I've got their newer style, which this isn't one of them, but the nylon one. These are the Powerline 3. These often go on sale. When these are $9, I buy extra ones because they're so awesome. But so you've got USB-C on one end, and you've got USB Lightning on the other. So this is how you get that really fast charge on your iPhone. So we'll plug the USB-C end, and we'll go to the phone here, and see our phone is currently at 31%. 19.8 watts of power. Would you look at that? This phone right here is going to charge at a very high speed. We definitely need to charge this battery bank. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. But even with this battery near dead, we are still getting 19.8 watts of power going to our almost dead phone, which is 30%. I will have a link to this in the description below. You definitely want to pick up one of these. If the iPhone 15 has USB Type-C, you can believe that my 12 Pro Max will finally get upgraded, because I don't want to use Lightning anymore. I want to be able to use that same cable to charge my power bank, to charge my Android, to charge my tablet, which is Type-C, to charge almost everything that's Type-C. Anyways, a question I get a lot is, how do you charge it? You never showed how to do that. Because a lot of people look at this and they don't see a micro USB port, and you can't charge it with that. You have to charge it with this. Now, what you're going to need is you're going to need something like this. This is the Anker Nano 3 30-watt adapter. These things are $22 on Amazon right now, and usually you can get them for $18. There's a little coupon you can apply. It is a 30-watt folding prong adapter. So this will charge my iPhone at about 22 to 24 watts when directly plugged in. And it can do 30 watts total altogether. So we're going to use this, the cable that our charger came with, plug this in, and we're going to plug this into here, and then we're going to plug it into our outlet. This is just a little watt meter that shows how much electricity something is pulling from the wall. I like it because I can see how efficient something is. So we'll plug this in, and you can see that there's one light currently blinking right now, meaning it's very low. And you can see on my little screen here that it's going at almost 19 watts. There is a little bit of power loss when it goes to this thing converting it to, Type-C. So that's why this thing is so useful, because we can get an exact reading of the fact that about 16.4 watts is going into this guy right now. So that's going to be the way you charge this thing up the fastest. Also, a really cool feature this thing has is trickle charging. If you've got a pair of Apple AirPods or Google Pixel Buds or Samsung earbuds or something, you can double press it and it turns green. Now you're in a slow charging rate because your AirPods don't need to charge at 20 watts. This thing is smart enough to know if your device can handle that or not, but you want to use trickle charging mode if you plan on charging up like some earbuds or something like a game controller, something that uses just maybe 1 or 2 watts of power. That will be the ideal mode to use. Now, to exit trickle charging mode, press it once and the light turns blue, and now you're out of trickle charging mode. Now, I did order this on Amazon with my own money. As you can see in that list, there's a couple other ones that have not arrived yet, or I haven't made a video on them, but I plan on doing it. For example, this is my wife's main battery. She loves how small this thing is. She prefers it over the Slim. These are both 10,000 milliamp hour batteries right here, but she likes this one more. This one was 18 watts. They updated the new one to 25 watts. And why that's such a big deal, and why I spent the 40-something dollars on the new one, was she has a Galaxy S22 Ultra. The new one will charge it at super fast charging 25 watts. This one only does 18, meaning she doesn't need to leave this connected for nearly as long to get a full charge out of her S22 Ultra. That video will be coming soon. But here we go. This is the one that I ordered for this video, the 10,020 watt power delivery. Typically it's $39. I believe I got this one for a sale or something. I don't know. says it could charge an iPhone 12 twice, a Samsung S20 over 1.5 times, and an iPad mini 5 once. See, look at that. You can charge your iPhone 12 to 50% in just 30 minutes. This is very fast. And like it says there, you'll want to use that Type-C port whenever possible because that's how you're going to get the 20 watts of power. If you have to use the USB-A, you're only going to get 12 watts max. So definitely use the Type-C to Type-C when possible and order a Type-C to Lightning if you're an iPhone user. This model came out in October of 2020, so it is 2 years old now. And this is a question someone has. The old version that I had that I cannot find, I don't know where it is just 18 watts. And since we're charging this thing at almost 18 watts, which is the max that it can recharge, we're going to get this thing charged up here in just a few hours. And while it's charging, you cannot use that USB-A port. It does not support pass-through charging. It does come with that USB-A to C cable. So if you're wanting to charge it with that, let's see what happens. Oh, wow. Okay. So if you have a device that is newer, like this is the GAN Prime Anker 120 watt 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A, it can do 16 watts output on that USB-A port, which is just a little bit less efficient than what we were getting with the Type-C to Type-C, because that's 11.8 volts at 1.35 amps. So it is currently pushing 16 watts of power into this little battery bank. That is impressive. That's not going to always be the case, though. Something that just is generic and, 5 volts, 2 amps, or 5 volts, 1 amp, like the charger that came with people's iPhone, you're not going to get that. So this one just does almost 5 volts at, well, almost 3 amps. That's pretty good. That's okay. That's 13. Not bad. This is something that was sent to me many years ago. It's a pretty cool little device. I have a couple of them. Okay, wow. That actually isn't bad at all. Whenever possible, though, still use the USB-C to USB-C. It's just going to be the most efficient and the fastest way to do it. That's pretty cool how it's... the other one was going at 5 volts and almost 3 amps, though. And this one's going at, almost 9 volts and almost 2 amps. So it's cool to see how they both almost achieved the 16.5 that this is producing now. Just a little shy under that, but in a different way. So it's using more amps than it was volts, which is pretty cool. Now, if you're curious as to how heavy this little guy is, he's only 260 grams, which is very light. To put that into perspective, my old 20K that I used to carry, that's 18 watts. I do have the new version that's 20 watts as well. It is 343. And my new Anker 535, which is 30 watts of output over 2 Type-C ports, it is 352. 353. This is a 20,000 mAh battery, though. So it has literally twice the capacity, theoretically, as this guy. It's 352, 260. And this is the PowerCore 10K Slim. 243. 259. Except this only has 18 watts of output, but it does have the wireless charging built into it. So you could charge up your phone wirelessly if you did not have any cables. Although it's going to be just 5 watts and take quite a while, but it can be done. That's pretty cool. You don't need any cables, and it's just doing everything like this, though. I would definitely much rather use a USB-C to Lightning cable, such as this right here, and go at 20 watts, which is 4 times the speed of the 5 watts of wireless charging that you get. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at What Would Josh Do, same as my YouTube channel. And please subscribe if you're new to the channel and you have not done so already. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.